So now that my OCD has been appeased, I'm going through and just rubbing the water into my hair. Apparently there was some upheaval on TikTok, which I don't have anymore, so I didn't see it, about white hair care products versus black hair care products. I think that's kind of interesting. Welcome back, friends, or if you're new here, just welcome. It is Lauren the Soap Witch, and it is time for another pre-poo. So here is what I am starting out with. Some nice fluffy hair. Surprisingly soft and not dry, because I had done a foam wash and go with a little bit of leave-in underneath for my, why do I always forget what I call it? A refresh. For my refresh on Wednesday. So usually if I only just use foam, my hair isn't super soft, but I was surprised. Moving right along, because that's not what this video is about. I am going to dampen my hair because I want to do this pre-poo in sections, and I always start out by dampening my hair, working the water through the strands, and then splitting the hair down the middle to start creating my sections. And then this week I decided I was not going to hum and haw over the sections, so I got them done pretty quickly. And then what I like to do is take the first half and just get it out of the way, and I clip it up with a little handy clip. So then I take the other side and I wet it. Love my continuous spray bottle. And then once I feel like I have enough water, I go ahead and split that half as well. I did decide to hum and haw a little because I noticed that there was this section that was just a little too far over for my liking, and my OCD was not accepting that. Stand by. So now that my OCD has been appeased, I'm going through and just rubbing the water into my hair and then splitting the section again in half. And I use the water because my hair is initially dry, obviously, and I don't want to just be trying to split up and break up dry hair, because that's going to lead to breakage and damage, and we're not trying to do that. So now I have the section that I want to work on, and I'm just going to douse it with water. When I do my pre-poo with conditioner or even the store-bought aloe vera, because you know I'm one to step outside the lines, I always douse my hair pretty thoroughly in water, not as wet as when I'm going to shampoo or do deep conditioning in the shower, but I want it nice and wet, because I feel like everything just slides along the hair better. When I do a hot oil treatment, I do not add as much water because I leave that in overnight, and you just don't want to leave your hair that wet for that long. It's not good. So now that I've obsessively drowned my hair in water, I didn't. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm being excessive. I just rub that through with my fingers until I'm satisfied. And then I'm going in today with my leave-in conditioner, which I also like to use as a pre-poo and sometimes as a rinse out because it's nice and thick. So I just alter the amount that I'm going to use depending on what I'm using it for. So that's how much I'm using on this section. I wasn't sure if I used too much or not, but that's what I went with. And then I'm just going to start applying it to my hair. I do not apply it on my actual scalp. I do not rub it into my scalp, but I do apply it to the roots of my hair as high up as I can go without getting it on my actual scalp. And then I just bring it down through the hair strands all the way to the ends. I want to make sure I pay special attention to the ends, because since that is the driest and oldest part of the hair, it also tends to be more prone to being brittle, dry, and damaged. So I kind of baby it, and I just make sure I give it extra attention so they are not forgotten about, and it helps to aid in length retention if you're into that. Next, I'm going in with Acute Anointing. You can't tell that by the label because it's a test fragrance, so it does not have a label. It's only a test because I don't have a label. You see how that's working? Anyway. So I just put some in my hand. Excuse me, so sorry. And then I just distribute it all throughout my strands on top of the conditioner. I just feel like it aids in additional nurturing and softness. Maybe it's all in my head or not, but I like it, so I'm going with it. So I'm going to massage that in until I feel like I've massaged it in well enough. Now I'm going in with the brush, my favorite, my BFF. It's amazing. Okay, I start on the ends of my hair and work my way up to the roots while I detangle this front section. For me, the front is the easiest to detangle because I don't sleep all over it like I do the back of my head. And for me, it's just the hair up there is just less dense. I like to detangle what I'm trying to say. The method I guess I like to use when I detangle is I like to brush it and finger comb behind it. And my method behind that is I really don't like finger detangling just by itself. I don't think it does a good enough job with getting the shed hair out and all that stuff. So I brush and then I follow up with finger detangling, that's just silly, finger detangling to get the best of both worlds. So now I'm just twisting it up into a bantu knot so I could get that hair out of the way while I do the rest. Also, putting my hair in bantu knots helps my hair fit up under any caps, shower caps, bonnets, whatever that I put on top of my hair after I pre-poo. Now we're moving on to the back. Again, this is my more tangly area. So I'm going to douse that with some water, especially making sure to get those ends. And then I'm going to take my hands and just massage that water all throughout my hair. Sometimes I do a little bit of preliminary finger detangling at this point because the ends tend to get really tangly and stuck together. And I just want to help separate that out a little bit before I apply additional product. But I do it very gently. I try not to rake my fingers through and just tear through the hair. Going back in with some more leave-in. That's how much I'm using for the back. Oh, probably close to the same amount. And here we go. Just gonna rub the product into my hair pretty much the same way I did on the front section. And I just want to massage it in. I'm not really doing any raking. I'm just massaging it in. Making sure that I press it in, whatever you want to call it. Making sure that I get these strands coated. I want to make sure all the hair is covered and coated before I detangle anything, because I really like the slip. All of my conditioners have incredible slip. That's because my hair gets so incredibly tangly. And so it just is more helpful as far as me detangling my hair, not having to be in pain, not having to spend so much time on my least favorite part. Well, it's not my least favorite part anymore. It used to be. And that was kind of easy. Going back in with Acute Anointing. Just gonna rub that on top the way I did with the first section. I always like to show the back versus the front because since the back of my hair is so much more tangly, you can just see how the slight differences in how I handle the back versus the front. But at the end of the day, they both still, I make them quite manageable between the products and the detangling. And here we go with the detangling. Products and technique really do help make a huge difference in the care and the handling of your hair. I know a lot of people tend to be looking for a magical product. Apparently there was some upheaval on TikTok, which I don't have anymore, so I didn't see it, about white hair care products versus black hair care products. I think that's kind of interesting. I've used all of the types of hair care products and honestly had success with all of them. I do prefer heavier products personally for my hair. My hair likes butters and oils and stuff with butters and oils in them. I know everybody's hair doesn't, but I don't know that I think it's necessary to, I guess, put one type of hair care product over another. You just find what works for you. It's all trial and error, no matter which type you pick anyway. And then it's about staying consistency. Girl, what did you talk? Okay. It's about how you use them and how consistent you are with that use. Anywho, so I've got those two sections done. And we're going to go on to the other side. Now we're all done. Look at me. Sorry. Gonna go ahead and put my clear plastic shower cap on top of my head. Where else would I put it? I don't know, girl. But then you can see my face. I'm realizing that I have forgotten to add the oil to my hairline. And then I decided that I didn't want to skip that step after all. So I'm just taking a little oil, gonna place it on my fingertips, and I am going to just rub it on my hairline. I don't like to skip this step because my hairline does think it's okay to disappear at times. It'll get really dry, scabby looking, white, pale looking, and all the times that I have been doing this method where I apply it on my hairline, it hasn't been happening. So now we're done. We're gonna sit with this cap on for 30 minutes and come back. So we're back. And I'm just going to take this off and take the Bantu knots off. I like to save the little shower cap to use for when I deep condition in the shower. Waste not, want not. Just a little tip. So I'm just going to take my hair down out of the Bantu knots. It's super easy. You just take the hair, you twist it in the opposite direction, and you pretty much just can pull it out. And I just like to separate the hair. Just, I don't know. I find it soothing or calming or something. Anywho, so that's going to be pretty much it for this one, friends. I've really been enjoying pre-pooing my hair in different ways other than hot oil treatments, though I do still like a good hot oil treatment. But variety never hurt nobody. And I just like the different methods just because, you know, why not? You have different types of products, you have different amounts of time, you have different needs, and why not try some different pre-poos? So I really enjoyed, of course, doing this video. I really enjoy doing all hair videos because I really just love doing my hair. For me, it's an act of self-love. So, anywho, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got something out of it, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And also give this video a like, could you please? Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.